And obviously this house has curb appeal. And I know you wanted a pool with a view. Dude, what are you doing?
You said if I wanted to buy or sell a house in Central Florida that I should follow you.
On social media.
Oh, you got a link? Thank you.
And we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and parts unknown.
We are live! Woo! And Stan got here in the nick of time.
And it's Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everyone.
And it's happy birthday to Dan.
Conductor Dan is having a birthday today.
Yes,
Happy
he
birthday,
is.
Dan. And is Mary in the chat? Because it was Nevaeh's birthday yesterday.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm. So, how have you guys been? We haven't seen each other since, what, yesterday?
Yeah, it hasn't even been
ages.
24 hours yet, has it? Or just about, huh?
Yeah, there's Mary.
Hi, Mary. Thank you,
There we go.
Lily. These are cute ears, aren't they? If I get
There's
hungry,
Mary.
I could just reach up and grab one.
Edible mouse
Edible-
ears? Where have I heard of
Donuts.
that before?
Yeah,
Donuts
yeah.
and ice cream.
There we go. The ice cream, what now?
I got ice cream earrings
Where are
from
those from?
Marvel's on Main Street, and I have my donut ears on.
From Marvelous on Main Street, where you get the earrings.
Yes,
How do I get back to where
and
we
they
were?
match my ears perfectly.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Alrighty, Justin, do you have a hat of the week?
Well, I'm going to
Nice
go
shirt,
with
by
this
the
one.
way. How does it fit?
The shirt fits wonderfully. Yeah, this is Stan got this shirt for me. Well, technically he got it for himself and it didn't fit. So he said, hey, maybe you'd like this.
Oddly enough, so I'm working on the new intro for our live shows. And so I'm sat down today at the computer and I started putting the new photos in and all that. And I wanted to get photos of, like, because most of us, we got a chance to meet each other. So we got photos with each other now. So I thought it'd be cool to have photos with each other. So I got a photo with myself and Beatrice, and I got a photo of myself with Justin, and I got a photo with myself with Chris, and I got a photo with myself and Holly. And I think to myself, well, wait a minute here. It's not going to look good. I'm in every single photo. It's like, that's pretty self-centered, even by my standards, I figured. So I reached out to the rest of the gang and I said, hey, can you give me some photos of you with the other co-hosts, and we'll make a new intro.
And I actually have one more that I'm going to send you. It's
Okay.
of me and Holly at Olga's Cantina. So,
Okay.
yeah, I will
Nice,
send
nice.
that to you.
Yeah, I'll have to kind of go through mine and get some sent to you as well.
Because that was kind of a rush job.
I got
Like,
Nevaeh's name
How do
right.
you get that ready for tonight? No.
Caleb, welcome. Caleb has a new project he's working on
Caleb.
too. He has like some kind of a new Facebook group or something you have there, Caleb. Why don't you tell us what it is in the chat here? Justin, where's your hat? Well, he's wearing the hat. He has a Tron hat.
Tron. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this
did
is
you order
40
that, or did you buy that at Magic Kingdom?
Yeah, we bought this at Disney World when we were there.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's the 40th anniversary of Tron.
And it lights up and everything.
It does light up, but
It needs to be darker.
let's see here.
Fantasyland Adventures is the name of Caleb's podcast.
Facebook group. Yeah. So
Yeah,
check
our
that out.
Facebook group. Yeah.
There it is.
Hi,
Paul.
Paul.
Wow. We got
There's
Paul
my
in here.
my wonderful husband is in the chat.
Nice. There we go. It lights
Wow.
up.
It does light up.
Yeah.
Oh, I
see
see
you
it.
now.
Very cool.
Justin was wearing that when we were on. Was it on the ship you were wearing that, or was it at the Disney World?
It was at the dessert party I was wearing it.
Right.
Ah.
And I can't handle flashing lights like that. Like I'm not. Like, my eyes roll in the back of my head, and I feel like I'm going to faint. And I'm like, Paul, Justin, you got to turn that off. It's.
See, Paul is taking after you, Stan. He's stealing your line.
He is. Mine is hey, not hi.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mine is hey,
You
gang.
made the
Yeah.
alteration.
Yeah. So we got a fun show planned for today. We got we're going to talk about our top 5, so 15 total TV series for 2022. I thought it'd be something different. It doesn't have to be Disney. They can be Disney. They don't have to be Disney. So I hope everybody has their lists either written down or in their heads. So when we give our number 5, you can post your number 5 and we'll bring them up on the screen. I thought it'd be something fun and kind of interactive to do with the group. But before we get to that,
Yes.
let's get to our hidden Mickey of the week. So this week's hidden Mickey is somewhere in one of the Disney parks, and we want you to tell us the closest attraction to it and which park, if that makes any sense. So Justin knows where it is because he was with me when I took this photo.
Yeah.
I have 2 ideas.
It looks like there's a bit of damage on this one.
Yeah.
Look at this, this part right here.
Is it Frontierland?
Oh, okay, here we go. So Mary's guessing Frontierland. Not quite Frontierland. Under the Sea in Magic Kingdom. No, not Under the Sea. Magic Kingdom. This is actually a really good one. And this one has been there for years. This is like before COVID, it was still there. And when I was there, I wanted to see if it was still there. And I took this photo.
And the damage was like that?
The damage wasn't like that back then.
Okay.
Here we go. Caleb got it.
That was my second choice. Pirates. Yeah.
Yeah, near Pirates of the Caribbean. That's exactly where it is. And if you zoom out a bit, there's this wagon. It's kind of when you're facing Pirates, it's gonna be on your far left. And there's like stroller parking there.
Very cool.
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean.
I should have got that right away.
Near Pirates. Yes.
I figured you'd get it.
So as always, our hidden Mickey of the week is brought to you by DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com. Contact Victor Naraki if you're planning to move in or near the Orlando area or Walt Disney World, Universal Studios, all those type of places. He's your guy you want to talk to for your if you want to move. You're looking for a home.
Yes.
Oh man. I always like to look back. I know we've done a couple of shows already about looking back and all that, but this year 2022 started off really, really bad. It was horrible, but for me, it ended up pretty darn good. How about you guys? How was your 2022?
Overall, ours was really good. So we moved into a new house and we took several trips, and I definitely cannot complain. So
okay, Dan, if you're still in the chat, there's someone there you can take care of for me on YouTube, please. or Holly. I'm not sure if Holly has YouTube access. So yeah, you moved into the new house, right? So you had a pretty adventurous year for sure.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. And how about you, Justin?
Well, one of the things, I started working from home this year, and I really enjoy that. So that definitely improved a lot for me.
Nice. And Justin, we got to hang out together at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, we had that wonderful meetup. I got to hang out with you there. We got to go on the Disney Wish.
Plus, you came to Winnipeg.
Yeah, came up to Winnipeg and saw you there. So we saw the Comic-Con together. That was fun.
Yeah, so I got to hang out with Justin 3 times. So, and I see how people in the chat are saying here. So, Mary is saying started off roughly but got better. But this start to 2023 has not been so great.
It's only 5 days.
Give it time to really start going bad.
Only 5 days.
Hasn't got a full work week yet.
Wait a minute. Oh.
I mean, you could start off with a rough week for sure.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Something that I'm looking at as an idea I had, and of course we have the new sponsor with MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, which, by the way, did you see that promotion that came down today with its kind of a dining plan?
Kind of a dining plan, yeah.
Look at this. We got Kimberly Bouchard stopping in for a quick hello.
Kimberly.
Hey,
Kimberly. That's nice. So I thought, how we have the Hidden Mickey of the Week with Victor. So I'd like to do something with MEI. And I don't know if we could do this every single week, because I think it would be tough to do it every single week. But I thought we would start doing hidden details or hidden secrets or things to look for you next time you're at Walt Disney World. So I thought I don't have the graphics and all that set up yet, but I do have a photo here. So behind Cinderella Castle, I think most of us are familiar with this water fountain that's there of Cinderella. And if you notice, if you're standing, the crown is a little bit hovering above her head.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys familiar with this?
Yep.
And you know the reason why the crown's hovering above the head?
Well, I know if you walk to a different angle, then it looks like it's right on her head.
Right. So it's not a matter of walking to a different angle. It's a matter of being younger.
Oh, that's right. Okay, the height.
So if you're a child and you're lower down, then the crown is on her head.
Yes.
It's kind of so that it's more magical for the children, kind of. So here's kind of a closer up picture as how an adult would see it, and this is how a child would see it. So I thought this was a really, really, or Marla's height. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I thought this was a really cool detail. So I thought we would kind of look at doing stuff like this, and MEI would sponsor that type of thing. So what do you think, people in the chat? Do we want to do this type? I don't know if we could do it every week. It'd be a lot of work to get something every week.
Maybe once a month?
Yeah. Something like that. But anyways.
Yeah, we'll have to see how many of those we can come up with. To do, I guess,
I mean, you would think a Hidden Mickey of the Week would be easy enough to come up with, but it's even that's not the the easiest to come up with. I'm just going to let's see what's going on here. We got somebody in the chat on YouTube that I kind of want to see if I can take care of.
Yes.
Can we block this user?
Yeah, I don't know if I can from my phone. If Dan's in the chat, he can. Maybe somebody can message Dan.
Yes.
Well, I can block it here.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that at least cleans that up.
Okay.
Immediate problem anyway.
Gary made me a bluebird just like Cinderella's. Oh, that is so cool.
Nice.
So like this bluebird here.
Yep.
That is very cool. That is very neat. Dan doesn't see him. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you, Dan. Now, do we want to get into the whoops, jeez Louise. Someone's out of practice.
We give you a couple of weeks off, and you.
Yeah, I know. You think I'd be more refreshed than this? Do we want to get into anything else we want to take care of before we get into our topic?
Nothing comes immediately to mind, I guess.
Alrighty. Kimberly says, I remember those days having to block people during my podcast. It's unbelievable. This is only like the second time we've had that where somebody was popping in there.
We don't. I think that's the first time I know I've seen.
Yeah, me too. It's the first time I've ever seen that.
Yeah, it was one other time, and Dan was in happened to be in the chat, and he was able to block him like immediately. So okay, so let's get into our show. So we're doing our top 5 TV series, Disney, non-Disney, doesn't matter. So the way I thought we would do this is we would do number 5 with Chris, number 5 with Justin, number 5 with me, and then we'll bring the people in the chat with their number 5 show is.
So if you don't already have a list in mind, start writing.
Yeah, start writing
about it now.
Get your pen and paper out and start writing.
Yeah. Oh, geez, you know what? I am better than I thought. I do have the thing up for him.
Pat yourself on the back, Stan.
I am more prepared than I thought. Look at that. Stay playing 90th a special offer. Yeah, so that would be part of that's our new segment with the hidden detail or fancy detail or something like that. Alrighty. So, Chris.
Yes.
This was your number 5.
Okay. So my number 5 is actually a show that is for, I would say, more geared to tweens, but I am digging on this. Not this one. Number 5. You want me to do that one first since you have it?
Well, that's what you had for number 5 that I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is not for tweens.
I was going to say that's not what I've heard about this show.
This show is definitely adult only.
Okay.
Yellowstone. I don't know how many people in the chat watch this. I can never get enough of it. I discovered this after I had heard some other people talking about it, and I started watching it, and I said to Paul, we have to watch this show. So at the time I started, they had like on the Paramount Network, they had like episode after episode after episode of like seasons 1, 2, and 3. So we kind of binged watched for a while and got all caught up. And now it is in season 5. And I absolutely love this show. See, Marla loves it. I can't get enough of it. I mean, I could watch the same episode 2 or 3 times. And
so is it, I'm guessing it's a Western. Like, I haven't watched
it's not really. Oh, it takes place in Montana. It's current day, but there are other, I guess you could call them spin-offs that are actually the prequels now that would lead up to this. There's the 1883 or 1886. And that is like the ancestors of the current Dutton family that is at the ranch. Mm-hmm. Then there's a new one now that started is 1923, and Harrison Ford is in that one.
What?
Yes.
I have not heard of this.
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the current family that is in charge of everything. I honestly, I cannot get enough of this show.
So Marla says, yeah, Yellowstone makes Dallas seem mild.
It does.
G.R. Ewing look like an angel.
It does. It really does.
Okay.
There's a lot of swearing. There is some nudity. And how many of us love Rip? Yeah, big time. So
is Rip a guy on the show, or is that
another character series? In the show?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my number 5 because everything else is Disney. So
I'm not sure who's. Oh, this must be Dan. He's saying that was his number 1, Yellowstone.
Really?
Well, thanks for joining us, Kim.
I'd love to
Yep.
get some series
Thanks, Kim.
ideas, but I have to go. Okay, thank you, Kim, for joining us. Hope she's enjoying Florida. She's moved down there this year also. Cool. I tried. I started watching an episode and I thought it was going to be an old time Western, and it was like, this isn't what I was looking for.
No,
so maybe
but
the spin-offs would be more my style.
You go back and start watching those other ones. Now they are only available on Paramount Plus. So I did subscribe to that because there's some stuff that I really want to watch on there. And
I don't have Paramount Plus. So
I'm anxious to start watching these other. I mean, we started the 1886, and I kind of watched a few episodes yesterday.
Okay.
Because I'm all by myself right now.
Hey, Justin. So Justin has for his number 5.
See, now everyone, I put this on here partly because everyone's going to expect me to have this on my list somewhere anyway. So I'm just giving into the peer pressure here. Yes, we're going to talk about Lego Masters. So the US show it airs on Fox. And it's basically, exactly what it sounds like. It's a bunch of teams competing with each other to build Lego models, do these various challenges. The host is Will Arnett. The judges are Amy Corbett and Jamie Berard, both from the Lego Corporation. But that's not the show I want to talk about. The Australian version is a much better version of this show.
Really?
Really?
So if you like the show at all, I highly recommend track down wherever you can find it, the Australian version, Lego Masters Australia.
So where do you watch it?
I watched it. It airs on 9 Network in Australia. The first 3 seasons are available on Tubi.
Oh, okay.
They're actually into season 4 now, but the host there is Hamish Blake, and the judge, they only have one judge there on that show, Ryan McNaught, also known as Brickman. And it's very much similar kind of layout and such of the show, but I really like the judging that Brickman does so much better. He does a lot more almost coaching of these teams. So he will come over and if they're struggling to come up with an idea, he'll help bounce some ideas off of them and try to get their creativity going. Or sometimes he'll come over in the middle of a challenge and go, this is looking good, but I think what you should really do is add this.
Okay.
And so he's always pushing them to do bigger, better, to really push themselves to do things that they haven't done before, and basically to make them into better Lego builders as part of this process. So I really enjoy that a lot more than the judging on the US show, where it just seems like they'll come over and maybe say, make sure you're doing some, your color and all of that.
Yeah. I like it when they smash them at the end.
Yeah. I was watching the one, I don't know, last week or the week before, where they were doing the vehicles, and they had to see how much weight they would hold. Did you guys see that one?
Was that one of the celebrity ones?
Yeah.
I haven't watched those yet.
Yeah, good. That was good.
I have the finale still recorded. I got to watch it yet. I want to welcome Mark Williams to the show. He chipped in the chat there.
Hi, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
So my number 5 is Only Murders in the Building, which was on it's streaming on Disney, Star. I'm not sure if you guys even get Star in the US, but it's Martin Short, Steve Martin, and I can't remember what her name is, but it's season 2. Season 1 was actually better than season 2, but they live in a building and they create a podcast together. A murder happens in the building, so they decide to create a murder mystery podcast.
Oh my god!
3 of them, and they're hosting together, and they're trying to solve the murder in the building. And it's witty, it's funny, it's something I just love Martin Short and Steve Martin. They're like two of my favorites.
Yeah.
So that was what attracted me.
Just
to it.
seeing those two in it, I'm sure it's
Right.
it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's streaming on Hulu here.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And for me to watch a murder mystery, it's going to be because I'm not a murder mystery person at all. But them being podcasters also, I thought, well, I got to watch this. I got to check this out. So yeah. And then they end up getting really, really popular with their podcast, and they start getting these fan groups that are always at the building wanting to catch a glimpse of them and stuff. It's pretty funny. And of course, Steve Martin is a retired actor. Martin Short, it was retired. He worked in Broadway or something like that, and he still thinks he's the biggest thing since sliced bread, but he's not, and he's broke. And yeah, it's really, really, really funny. Well worth watching, checking out. Here we go. Hey, Mark. So, yeah, Mary said that's a good cast. yeah, it really is a good cast. It's well worth checking out. It's 2 seasons. And it's so binge worthy. Like you watch one episode, and it's like you got to watch the next one right away. So, what about the chat? Do they have a number 5? Does anybody have a 5th favorite series that is anyone going to play along?
Caleb said something about Freeform. Here. Cruel Summer is one of the teen and young adult shows that he likes watching. So I've not heard of that, but
I haven't heard of that one either. There's so many shows on partly because there's so many networks and so many streaming services, and they all have their own things that it's like you can't keep up with it all anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, and then like Mary was saying, I don't think he even watched 5 shows this year. So Mary would say like this was her top 5 podcasts, live streamers. The new Turner Hooch show. Yeah, that was on Disney Plus. I meant to watch that. I never did get around to that one either.
I saw that it existed. That's about as close as I got.
Yeah. I was planning on watching it. Here we go. Dan says 1883.
Yeah.
Which is like the spinoff from Yellowstone.
Okay. Yes. Yep.
I think I would like that one more than Yellowstone.
That one is Faith Hill and Tim McGraw are in that, and they play husband and wife.
Oh, interesting.
So, yep.
Yeah, Marla says I don't watch too much television. I watch too much YouTube and Facebook Lives, which is great. We, for sure. Here we are promoting. Go watch something else instead of us.
When you're done here.
Mary says her dad is watching Yellowstone and he loves it.
Okay.
Alrighty. So Chris is number 4.
Okay.
I have
all right.
Among the Stars.
Okay, so this was just a 1 season show that was on Disney Plus. It was excellent. I am a kid who grew up watching the beginning of the space race because I'm that old. And I wanted to become an astronaut when I was a little girl, but then when I got older and found out how much math was involved in it, that took it right off the table for me. But this covers astronaut Chris Cassidy trying to get back into space for one last mission. It's a deep dive into deep space and behind the scenes of the space program and everyone that's involved in making things happen. So you get to see a lot of the ins and outs of what happens in the control room, what happens with the astronauts having to go through preparations for things. It's really, really good, but it also shows a real personal level on his family. I think that he was divorced during the time that this was being made, but he had a girlfriend, and his parents and, their whole thought process on their son going into space one more time. And it was a very, very interesting series.
I'll have to check that out. That does sound good. That sounds like my type of show. Marla's saying you should do the top 5 YouTube vloggers we watch. We should do that, actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Mark Williams is saying that 1883 was really good. 1923 is a Harrison Ford, Helen Mirren. It's off to a good start. See, I think I'd like those ones more than the Yellowstone one. Okay, Justin has one I've never heard of. I had to change the background color, Justin, because it was just black on black otherwise. What a picture you sent me.
Well, if you put it on black, yeah, it was on white when I sent it, but I think
it's but it was a PDF, so it was just the logo and no background.
So and no background, yeah.
So,
anyway, so this one is called Death in Paradise. They're up to season 11 already.
Holy cow!
So we've been watching this one for years. It generally comes out in like January, February, kind of. So it's starting up. Season 12 is starting up like right now this week, I think. And it originally airs on the BBC, but you can see it on like PBS or Ovation in the United States. It's also on BritBox.
Yeah, I think that's where I started to see it. I've watched a few episodes of this, and it's really, really good.
Yeah, it's partly comedy, partly but it's mostly murder mystery, kind of Agatha Christie style murder mystery. On this tropical beach, on this tropical island called San Marie. Now, it starts off with the detective Richard Poole. He's from England. He hates French people, and this is and this is like English French sort of area. So he runs into a bunch of French people, and he doesn't like them. And he wants to go. He desperately wants to go back to England, but the commissioner needs a detective and keeps finding ways to keep him here. And so he was there for like a couple of seasons. Then they kind of swapped him out for I think it was Humphrey was the second one, played by Chris Marshall, and he was there for a couple of seasons. And he ended up going back to England. They got Jack Mooney was the next one. He was there for a couple of seasons.
Wow. So is it a murder mystery type thing? Is it a humorous or?
It's there's definitely some humor involved, but it's it's mostly following the this detective and the police department solving a murder. So it's like I say, it's kind of like the Agatha Christie kind of style where they'll notice something and they'll interview all the suspects and try to figure out what's their relation and why would who has motive and who could have done it and how and all of that. So
very cool.
It's very interesting from that point of view. It's also a lot of humor. If you're a fan of Red Dwarf, Danny John Jules,
like Red Dwarf,
Danny John Jules, who played Cat in Red Dwarf, plays Dwayne Myers for the first about 7 seasons or so of Death in Paradise as well. So he's there, and he's a lot of fun as well.
Mary, you're going to need some tips on how to watch all these series.
How to have time to watch series.
Retire. That's my tip right there. Retire.
So this one was on Amazon, and it was a spin-off to A League of Their Own TV or movie, and it was my wife and I started watching this, and I like time period movies and series, and that's exactly what this is. It's like during the wartime effort when the men are off to war, the women started their baseball league. It's basically A League of Their Own. If you like the movie, I think you'll like the TV series, but it gets a lot more in depth in the character development. And like, for instance, I can't remember. I don't know any of the actresses' names. I didn't really follow them, but this actress wasn't allowed to play because with her being black, but she was like the best player there. It's just a lot of interracial stuff and a lot of it was. I don't know. Is
it only one season so far? Or
it's only one season so far. Okay. Yeah, it was on Amazon, and we binge watched the entire season like over 2 days, which we don't normally binge watch. That's how I can tell it's a good series. If my wife goes, put another one on, like let's watch another one. It's like, well, we got to go to bed, so let's watch another one. So, any Okay, we'll just keep going here. So
Okay.
Chris, this was your number 3.
That is my number 3. This is the tween show, but
Ooh.
I really, really enjoy this. It's a mystery, and I really like shows like that. But it's, for that age bracket, it's clean, wholesome, fun, mysterious, kind of scary every once in a while. So it kind of puts all of that together. This show is going to be going into season 3 on Disney Plus starting March 24th.
Okay.
And it is about the young man in the picture. His name is Griffin Campbell. He and his family moved to a new town where his dad happened to grow up, and they take ownership of an abandoned hotel in hopes of restoring it to the lively vacation destination it once was. Now, the twist on that is it's haunted.
So it's a Scooby-Doo show.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of a little bit. I really, really like this show, and I can't wait for the new season to start. All the
Very
acting is really good.
See, I think I've seen this come up on my Disney Plus,
mhm.
and I thought that the font was really cool and all this was really cool, but I never actually hit play. So.
Now, what's really ironic is there is a street in my town called Sulphur Springs.
Oh, jeez.
It was so we were driving it's on the way to go to the town dump to take stuff there that we don't want to wait for the garbage men to pick up. Mm-hmm. And we're driving, and I went, oh my gosh, look, there's Sulphur Springs. So, see, Susan likes it. Yeah, it is. It's a great show.
There we go. So Justin's number 3. This is one I did watch.
So Moon Knight on Disney Plus here. I really enjoyed the way I loved Oscar Isaac's acting throughout all of this. He did a great job portraying the multiple characters and whatnot. It was an interesting kind of almost character piece in terms of, kind of exploring how his mental health works and all of that. Along with like all of this, sort of fantastical setting with the Egyptian gods, and he's basically a superhero, and
but he's not really a superhero per se. It's not like he's going out looking to fight crime. Like he's not
right.
Well, he's not your traditional superhero.
He's a Marvel superhero.
Yeah. This show, I really did enjoy it after I really understood it. Like, I had to go back and rewatch quite a few of the episodes because I was very confused at the beginning.
That's how I was. I started off really enjoying it, and then as the series went on, I started going, I got to talk to Justin what's going on, because I'm not really following this.
But after we
were doing those roundtables then, huh, Stan?
Yeah, we were doing those roundtable discussions. I just let you guys talk, and I just made the introduction.
After I rewatched it, I liked it a lot better because I understood. So now if there's another season, I will definitely be more into it because I will understand it.
Yeah. Hey, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
So... yeah, I should probably rewatch them. I don't know how I'm gonna ever have time. Like Mary's, how do you have time to watch all these? I gotta rewatch.
Yeah, I have a number of things that I should rewatch, but like I say, I don't have time to watch it in the first place.
Well, yeah, like who was up here saying? Was it Mary saying you have to watch Big Bang Theory? You don't watch Big Bang Theory?
I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you got to watch Big Bang Theory.
Oh my goodness.
and you got to watch Bob's Burgers. Alrighty, where are we here? My number 3. Okay, so this one is not for children. This is a very, very adult.
The Boys.
Series.
Okay.
Yeah, it's The Boys.
This is another one I've thought about watching, but I haven't had time yet.
Yeah. This one, it's a league of superheroes. And they're the most horrible people on the planet, but the entire planet adores them. So if you picture, like, we're living in modern times, and there's actual superheroes, and they make movies. The superheroes make movies, and that's how they fund their lifestyle and their extravagant buildings and all that, but they're actual heroes. So they actually save people, or supposedly save people. So say a plane is coming down. So this is one of the scenes. This isn't a huge spoiler, but so the plane's coming down, and so this guy here, who's like he's like the Captain America type character. So he goes to rescue the people on the plane, and he realizes there's no way he can rescue all these people. He can't take them one by one at a time. He doesn't have enough time. He can't hold the plane up and bring it to a safe landing. So he says, "Well, sorry, you guys, you're on your own. I'm leaving." Basically, and everyone's like, "We can't leave us. Like, take my child at least. Take my wife. Take my, you know." Like, no, you guys are on your good luck. and he takes off. So they're actually very horrible people.
Oh wow!
And then there's one guy that's like
Hi,
the Flash.
Amanda.
So he's racing through the streets, and he actually hits a girl and just kills her on contact. Like, she just splatters everywhere because he's going so fast. And they cover it all up. They make it, you know, so and it's just it's not for children. This what is Craig saying? I'm not sure I could say The Boys was good, but it was quite a ride. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're up to like what, season 3 or something now?
Season 3 should be coming out pretty soon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello, Amanda. Welcome to the show. Alrighty. So
Yeah, I'm going to be on with Amanda tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
What show is that? What is that on?
11 Eastern.
What's the name of the? Amanda, can you help us?
Amanda, type in the actual name of your show.
Yeah, it's a live Zoom chat you were saying?
Yeah.
So Chris and I agreed on number 2.
Yes. Rogue One is at not quite to the top of my list of Star Wars movies, but it's probably a number 2 or 3 spot. I absolutely love Diego Luna as an actor, and the part he plays as Andor in the movie and in this series. I just could not get enough of this while watching it. I did not want every episode to end. It's just that good.
And it's kind of like Jay, I think he kept saying that it's Star Wars but for adults.
Mm-hmm.
In that it's based more on story and less on action. There's no lightsabers, there's no force wielders. There were, like, when we were doing the roundtable discussions, the very first episode, I said, is this Star Wars? Because you could take this exact same storyline and put it in any setting, and it doesn't have to be Star Wars, realistically.
Right.
It's me and the magic.
Right. Me and the magic.
Yeah, Andor had such great writing, and great acting. They had some great actors, they had some great acting, but more to the point, they had some really great writing all the way through. I would say it made Book of Boba Fett look bad, but I think Book of Boba Fett made Book of Boba Fett look bad. So I will say it made Obi-Wan Kenobi look bad in comparison.
Craig
this
thought
really
it
was
was
a well done
You
show.
thought, oh my gosh, Craig, come on. No.
There was a lot of story buildup.
It was.
And it's almost like a spy thriller in a sense.
Yes.
In that nobody trusts anybody else and everybody's, like that.
Yep. I can't wait for the next season. Is it coming out this year or is it next year?
It won't be this year.
Ugh.
Might not be next year. I don't think they even started filming season 2 yet.
2.
I don't think they even started filming it yet.
No.
Season 2. Yeah. But yeah, this was a tough call between number 1 and number 2 for me. In the end, I felt the number 1 pick was my number 1 pick. So Justin, your number 2 was The Sandman.
Yeah, so this airs on Netflix. And it's based on the comic series by Neil Gaiman. and of course, that ran. Was it like 1989? I think is when it started. And it's basically, I mean, where Neil Gaiman really kind of came into being well known was through this work. I think he's obviously had done a lot of stuff before that, but this was kind of like where he really broke out. It's an interesting story in its own right. If you read the whole comic series, there's a lot of examination of stories and storytelling and what that means for people as we follow this character. And because Neil Gaiman himself is involved in the creation of this series, they really followed the comics about as closely as they possibly could, while still translating it both to the screen, but also kind of updating it for the modern times. And
so when you say the Sandman, you're not talking about the villain on Spider-Man. Who is the Sandman? Like, what is it?
Okay, so Sandman is a dream. So there's a group of they're called the Endless, that represent sort of different aspects of humanity. So there's death, there's dream, there's destiny, there's destruction, there's desire, and they're not exactly gods. But they are the embodiment of those things, and they are all, they call each other siblings or whatever. And this first season, I guess, is kind of shows how desire and dream are sort of fighting against each other a little bit.
Okay. Interesting.
But it's a real, I'm probably not explaining it well, but it's a wonderful fantasy series. It mostly follows dream all throughout, but there are some really good stories within it. That really, it's really well done. It really is, especially if you're a fan of the comics, or you're familiar with them at all. You'll absolutely love it.
This is kind of what I'm thinking. It sounds complicated. It sounds like Moonlight.
How long has this show been on, Justin?
This was the first year. This was the first season.
Okay.
It just came out this year.
Okay. I might check it out. I might check that one out, actually. On Netflix, you say?
Yep, that one's on Netflix.
Yeah. So here's what Craig's comment on Andor was. It's all slow build up without any payoff. No cool aliens, no cool droids, no cool ships, no Jedi, no Sith. Just a lot of talk. It was very much story driven.
Yep.
Yeah. So Chris and I also agreed on our number one of the year. Obi-Wan Kenobi is
my heartthrob Obi-Wan.
Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen. I mean, Darth Vader walking through the streets, just ruthlessly killing anybody that would look at him sideways.
Yeah,
you gotta love it.
Just the whole thing. It was amazing. The special effects, the subject matter, everything. I loved the little girl that played Leia. I even got a Lola for Christmas, and it was fabulous. I could go on and on about this show. I absolutely loved it.
See, I think Andor had a better story, but I loved everything about Kenobi. I felt that Kenobi was Star Wars, whereas Andor, you could have taken it and pretty much put it in any era. Any, you make it a Western, you can make it a murder mystery, you can make it whatever you want, a modern day, and it would fit. But Kenobi was Star Wars through and through. There was no question about it. There was lightsabers, there was the Force wielders, there was TIE fighters, there was stormtroopers. It was Star Wars.
Yes, it was. I mean, it was everything you could hope for in a
definitely hit like all of those nostalgia notes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Great choice. Couple of plot holes leading into episode 4. I have. Someone was mentioning, Mark, if you can comment like on one of the plot holes that led into episode 4, because Other than like he said, why has his Vader, I haven't sensed him since, but he never really finished when he sensed him last. So I'm not sure which plot holes. But here we go. The line that Vader said to Obi-Wan about him not being his failure, that he didn't kill Anakin, Vader did. It was one of the best. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to see the final episode in the movie theater.
That's right.
Yeah. They had that. That was really special, seeing the final episode in the movie theater. So finally, we're going to end up with Justin's case. This is another one I've never heard of, but I love this graphic.
Yeah, so this one is on Apple TV Plus.
Okay, which I'm going to cancel this month. I gotta hurry up and watch this.
It's just had the one season so far. It's actually directed by Ben Stiller.
Oh.
Okay.
But the main premise here is that some of the people who work for this company called Lumen undergo a procedure called severance, which separates them, their work life from their home life. So when they go into work, they lose all memory of everything that happened outside of work, and basically become almost like a whole new version of themselves that only exists when they are in the building for work.
So and
then when they leave at night, they lose all memory of what happened at work and go back to who they were outside of work.
That sounds like a dream. Like, I would love that. You don't bring any personal baggage with you to work. You don't bring any personal baggage home. Or any work baggage home. That sounds
so then there's this kind of overarching question of, what are they doing and why, and what is the company's agenda and things like that. But it's an interesting examination of like workplace politics and pizza parties and that sort of thing, the sort of silly things that workplaces do to kind of keep you motivated and things like that. So it's a very interesting mystery kind of going throughout the whole thing. And when you get to the end of that first season, I mean, you're definitely going to want to watch the next one.
Okay.
Interesting.
How many episodes is it, around about?
I think it's 9 episodes.
And they're hour long, I'm guessing?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I got to the end of the month because I'm canceling my Apple at the end of Apple TV at the end of the month. Okay, so Mark is saying about Kenobi. Leia reaching out in episode 4 to Obi-Wan makes it sound like she didn't even know him, even though they were in so much stuff together in the show. Yeah, she does say in episode 4, you fought with my father during the Clone Wars, and which in the Clone Wars they never really fought together. There in episode 4. She does reach out to him, saying, "Yeah, that is a good point." It could have been that she knew him as Kenobi and not Obi-Wan, because in the series she's Obi-Wan. He's Obi-Wan in the series. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's Ben Kenobi in the series, not Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's Ben Kenobi in the series, so she knows him as Ben Kenobi. So she reaches out to Obi-Wan Kenobi in episode 4.
Mm-hmm. So kind of having the same confusion that Luke did in episode 4. Obi-Wan? Does he mean old Ben?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, does he mean Ben Kenobi? Yeah, because he calls himself Ben Kenobi in the series, whereas in episode 4 he calls himself Obi-Wan Kenobi. Because Kenobi is such a common name. It's like Smith in the Star Wars.
Apparently.
I think trying to connect them, they've got their limitations on what they have to work with. So, some of that is understandable.
Yeah. Mary is saying The Good Place. I love The Good Place. I don't even think of that one. That one would have made my list for sure too. Not on my top 5, but yeah.
The only reason I wouldn't have put that on there is because I think that's been over for a while.
Oh, is it? Okay. I watched it this year. I watched the entire series this year with my wife and my daughter.
Speaking of shows, did you guys start watching Bad Batch yesterday?
Thank you, Mark. Yes,
I started watching it tonight, just
Yeah,
before
I did
we came on here. We were
I did
watching
too.
those first 2 episodes.
I didn't even get to finish the second episode because I had to sign on here.
I watched the first episode yesterday morning before work, and I watched the first episode today before. I got to tell you about my adventures today. Oh my gosh, what a day this was!
Oh, you went to the passport place, right?
Yeah, I had to go renew my passport, so that's fun. You guys had a
Oh, no
DMV.
wonder you were running late.
Canada has the passport place. Yeah, I started that at 8 o'clock this morning.
Ugh.
So I go get my photo taken. Well, first of all, you can get photos taken all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like $25. Doesn't matter where you go. So there's one at the end of my street. So I call them, and they go, "Well, our machine's not working." I go, "Okay." So I call the one that's down the road. Well, they have no ink at the Staples. They have no ink. I go, "You guys sell ink? Can you not just get ink off the shelf?" No, it's special ink for the passport machine. All right. So then I call the drugstore that also does it, and well, they don't start till noon. The person that takes the passports photos. They go, okay. So then I call the one that's further away. So I end up going to one that's quite a ways away, and they go, yeah, come in anytime. So I get there. I'm the first person there. I get my passport photo right away, no problem. The guy stamps it. He signs it. The passport office is actually people that don't know. I work about 5 minutes from home. I'm very close. It's a 5-minute drive, not even, depending if I hit the red light or not. And, and the passport place is connected to my store. It's like it's in a strip mall. So there's a liquor store at one end, there's my store, and then the passport place is right in the middle.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's super convenient for me. But all summer long, the lineups were down the street all the time. There's a big lineup to get in. So I made the earliest appointment I could make was the 17th. But I want to get this over with. I'm off today.
Yeah.
I'm going to get this over with. So I get there, and you still have to put a mask on. You still have to sanitize your hands because it's a government building. You can't do, so that's fine. She takes my name and she says there's about 18 people ahead of you. And I go, okay. So she says, go have a seat. We'll call you. So I sit down and they call me. Like, wow, that was easy.
Okay.
so I walk up, but that's just to go to the desk. That's not to actually see somebody. So I go to the desk, and she looks over my form, and she looks at my photos, and she says, well, these photos aren't good enough. And I go, why? What's wrong with the photos? She goes, well, there's too much glare on your forehead. She says, maybe put some powder on your forehead or something like that, but you're gonna have to redo these photos. And I'm like, all right. So the photos are guaranteed, so they weren't going to charge me again. So I had to drive the other end of the city again. I get in my car, and I'm realizing I don't have very much battery left in my electric car.
Mhm.
I hope I can.
Yeah, I was wondering about that as well.
I hope
I've been in that car.
I didn't charge all the way, but so I hope I can make it home. So I drive out to the get my photos. Well, I know there's a charging station on the way halfway home. I could pull in if I had to. So I get there. The guy takes my photo right away. He goes, I don't think there's a glare on your forehead. I think that's just the way the shape of your head is. You got kind of a pointy head, and it looks like it's cut off, but that's just the shape of your head. But I'll take another photo. All right, so the two photos look identical. There's maybe a millimeter. So,
Oh my God.
So I'm like coming home, and I'm like, no heat, not using my turn signals, trying to conserve my battery. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm very close. Like the passport place is very close to my house, but my house is first. I'm going to go home and charge my car first. So I get into the back lane, and it goes down to one bar, and low battery, charge now. So anyways, I charge it. Then I walk to the passport office. Well, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm going to have a quick response. There's going to be like 800 people there now.
Yeah.
Because it's no longer first thing in the morning. Anyways, I get there, and there's only one person ahead of me.
Oh,
wow.
And I got right in, and they accepted the second photo for some reason, which identical to the first photo to me. Like they both look the same.
Was it the same person, or was it
No,
a
different person.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, I was sent back to get a new photo. So they took the photo, but they both look the same to me. I showed them both photos, and she goes, well, this one's a little bit better. We'll take this one. Like, okay. So, anyways, that was something that should have been only like
Yeah.
15 minutes ended up being the entire morning.
Ugh.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Gee, he has great customer service.
Yeah.
That's the shape of your head. You're just missing parts of your head.
You just have a weird headstand.
Yeah, it's different. This is why Mary doesn't want an electric car. Now, keep in mind, my electric car is like the very first ever electric car, so it has a very, very small battery. The electric cars they make nowadays have a much bigger battery, and they go much longer distance than mine does. Mine's basically a golf cart. Like,
but it mostly works for what you need it for.
Yeah, she didn't want to talk bad about her coworker. Yeah. Yeah. So, well, and the other thing too, like even the sob story. Well, oh, my battery died. I had to walk here, and so they felt sorry for me. I had to get a bigger parka, and I got earmuffs on now because I was walking.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, well, that's our show for today.
It sure is.
Yeah, our first show of the year is in the books, and we'll see you all
next week. Yep.
Alrighty.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye-bye.